Hello everyone, Zelleranth here, and it has been confirmed that Homa will be the next unit that we will be getting on the debut banner for Sword of Convallaria. And she is as close to a must-pull as we can get besides Terror in the coming couple weeks. So Terror is the one that I say is an absolute everybody should pull once he comes out. Homa is just behind him in the fact that she provides a significant amount of boosts to your team, pretty much for anybody, but she's going to be extremely useful for your slower units. And so we'll take a kind of a quick look at her trait and a couple of her skills. We're not going to do a full in-depth look at her. I've already done that. So I will go ahead and put that original video in my description if someone wants to go look at her entire full kit. But I want to kind of highlight some of the main reasons you're going to want to pull over her. And then later this weekend, I'm also going to release my video on the pull priorities for the upcoming units, including Homa, Terror, as well as everyone probably through Tristan. So that'll be coming up here soon as well. But let's go ahead and take a look at what I think is the most important parts of Homa's kit. All right, so when we take a look at her kit, the first thing we'll want to see here is on her trait is kind of the key thing to what I think is the most important. So ignore block, increases physical attack by 20%, and the movement and speed is increased by 1, so she's fast and nimble herself. And then after the player or friendly unit that Balu, and to me Balu is kind of the most important of her birds within her team, attacks, it will call Balu to continue attacking, causing physical damage equal to 40% of its own physical attack value, and stealing 2 random buffs from that enemy and 1 energy for Homa. And the big thing with Balu is right in her first skill, on level skill 1 on the left side, you have Circling Aid, which is an instant that allows Balu to stay on the target, so your target friendly unit, and that gives that unit +2 move, jump, and both parties gain attack 2, and during this period, when calling Baller, the attack or heal, it will cause 1.5 times the effect of the corresponding skill, which lasts for 2 rounds. So what's really big with this is really right up the top, and that's the main reason I would consider Homa like a must-pull over a majority of people, is because someone like Auguste, who has a very low movement and he doesn't have the ability to jump, when you put this on him, it makes him like a breaker that has the movement and capabilities of someone like Cole. So just imagine all that extra movement to get him around, because that's one of his kind of glaring weaknesses, is he's very slow in the movement side of things. This pretty much fills the gap with that. And so you have that one, and that right there is kind of the key in it. That alone makes her extremely useful just because it can boost someone like Auguste or Tristan or any other little bit slower units. And it can even work on your faster units. So you can put the bird on someone like Cole and give him even more. Now, someone that already has jump, of course, doesn't get an advantage by adding it on again because it doesn't stack or anything. But it definitely can help with that extra movement. So she's just all around good because of that. And then you have a couple other things in here that can really help her. Like she has on her level 3 skills 2 good passives if you want to have her as a shield breaker. And then you have on the right Harmony, which can make it where if you use a skill, you can heal all allies within 2 squares. So just a little bit of extra healing on a team. So if you need that little bit of extra, it might be able to work well with someone like Terra on your team, where you may not even need a dedicated healer like Inanna, because if you have multiple people who can do little heals like that, it might negate the need for a healer. And then pretty good reaction, where if she gets attacked, she can blind the enemy and then she'll jump backwards and avoid the attack. So she's got a lot of survivability in that capacity. And then you have like a really nice support one where you have the target that has Baller on it, they gain Noisy and then deal 60% physical range damage to all enemies within 2 squares. So you can basically use this one on the unit. So if you have, say, Auguste, another way to have wherever Auguste is, to do damage to all the enemies in that area. And so to me, he's kind of the main part of her kit. You have a lot of other little things within here that also make her useful on the support and CC side of things, and just all around good. And that kind of sums up what I would think the most important skills there. And so what really, ultimately to me, what makes her so good is really this first skill, because it completely eliminates the weakness that you have with some units like Auguste, where they're just slow. And then it also adds a little bit of damage on top of it, plus has more functionality in some of these other skills towards that unit. So just outright an amazing kit. And with us having Hasna, which I think a majority of us have skipped, because she was just kind of a DPS, didn't really have any significant synergies with anybody else to make her all that good for a team. And so a lot of people should have been able to save up enough to probably pull at least, maybe most people could get at least one pity on her, depending on how much they had to burn on August when he released. And so a lot of people should be able to pick her up. And then we also, if we follow the CN route, because Terror's the next really big one that everybody should absolutely pull. If we follow the CN route, we should have a buffer of 3 units in between Homa and Terror. And that would be, we have Shaklulu, Agatha, and Karis. None of them are must-gets, but in my opinion. But I mean, some of they're all good. Like, all of them have their value to your teams. I think Karis and Agatha are going to be the 2 that have like the most value of those 3. And so, depending on if you really want one of those units, you could throw a few pulls at it. But we do have, it's basically a month and a half in between Homa and Terror to save up after you get Homa. That's saying that we follow the same banner route. There's always the chance that they can make Terror the next unit, and then it kind of really throws some kinks into the system. But we just got to hope that doesn't happen, because I think Homa is good enough that you should go for it if you can. And if Terror just comes up next, well, then that kind of sucks. But you just throw everything you have at him until his banner's over at that point. But yeah, to kind of end it there, if you like my content, if you could like, comment, and subscribe, it really helps. I am continuing to do sort of Convallaria content. I know Ash Echoes is kind of taking up a lot of my time right now, but I'm trying to at least shoot for 2 videos a week. The main one's going to be going over an upcoming unit that's currently on the CN version until I get all the way caught up. And then the other one will be kind of the reactions in terms of the new units coming out as they come out, as well as I plan to still live stream my polls when I do polls. And since I will be going for Homa, I will be live streaming my polls for Homa. But yeah, thanks for watching.